Test 1 2, test 1 2.
It's the most storied rivalry in the FCIAC.
Darien and New Canaan. Saying the two names together is enough to conjure memories and feelings of past battles in the everlasting war that these two townships fight, a war that has spanned a century.
The rivalry of the FCIAC, blue and white against red and black, Darien and New Canaan. Doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the circumstance, but this always lives up to the hype. Separated by just 4 miles, but divided by more than a century of rivalry. As it's the blue and white against the red and black. Waving Rams, Darien, and New Canaan, pick your side, but pick carefully, as this rivalry is the pinnacle of any high school sports season. Simeon Dahl, the Davis Jeff. Jeff, the fast break points is good.
Just sends it back towards the middle, and that's a goal for New Canaan.
Spins his way out of it. Brady Piccone with the goal.
A rivalry that matches all the way back into the 1900s, and no matter who's ranked what or what their records are, it's all thrown out the window.
number 1 and the number 2 teams in the FCIAC will battle out today at the Darien Ice House. The Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams will face off. The Darien Ice House, the battleground for this always perennial powerhouse matchup. Now everyone, Liam Tomaszewski joined alongside my broadcasting partners Will Jennings and PJ Neville. And guys, today we have an amazing matchup in our hands. 2 of the top teams in the FCIAC conference. Will, I'll start with you. Darien's coming off some nice wins against Greenwich Cardinals, Fairfield Co-op Mustang. So, of course, coming into this game, Darien New Canaan's always going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, Darien, they really put it together last game. Finley got his shutout. Of course, I didn't jinx Finley that game. And, Gavin Samame finally getting on the scoring sheet. That was huge for the Wave. They also got to work that 3rd and 4th line. Not sure if we'll see them a lot today, but, they got to work those lines out, and the chemistry in that, bottom part of the depth chart is looking really good right now.
And PJ, New Canaan hasn't lost a game since they played Darien back in January. They're on an 8-game winning streak. So for head coach Clark Jones' squad, they have a lot of momentum on their side of the ice.
Yeah, these boys came out the past couple of games. They worked out some new lines. And these 2 new lines have been clicking, right? You've got that first line with Max Lowe centering Doster Kroll and Tony Del Carmine. And then that second line with Braden Roby centering Gavin Fitzpatrick and Bryce Lyon. And these 2 lines just seem to click. All 6 of those guys are the Rams' top 6 scorers from last season, and they've come back and they're out for blood tonight.
So we're going to hear, we spoke to the Darien and New Canaan captains. Let's hear what they have to say about this game.
I think it's always a game no matter what. Like, no one ever has each other's numbers. We always are trading off wins, so that makes it always interesting. It's never going to be a blowout, always going to be a close game, and there's a lot of emotion tied to it, so that always makes it even more exciting.
We're always going to respect them as an opponent no matter who's on their team, how skilled they are, because regardless, it doesn't matter. It's one of the biggest rivalries, I think, in probably the FCIAC or the state. They're going to come out looking for us, looking for blood, and want to get that win, but I think that we're going to take it away, being the home team. And, we just got a group of guys this year that's not going to let up, and we're not going to come out there cocky thinking that we're better than them because we beat them last game, even though a lot of people may think it was a fluke, but we're going to prove them wrong and show them that it wasn't.
I think the most important thing with the rivalry versus New Canaan and Darien is not only the proximity of the towns, but also how much we play each other. We play each other multiple times in every sport, and across all sports, like the rivalry is very big, very hatred. And you play with each other in club growing up, and then once you reach high school level, you're enemies.
So those are the captains for that matchup, but let's take a look at some of our keys to the game for players to watch. Of course, today for Darien, Elliot Lancaster. For New Canaan, Max Lowe. Both these guys have a lot of great stats on the year. Of course, Lancaster 5 goals, Max Lowe with a heavy 12 goals to his name. So overall, he's been anchoring that first line. PJ, what do you have on Lowe?
I mean, Max Lowe, he's a great player. He's an all-around guy. He'll get it done passing, or he'll get it done on a shot. He's only got 19 points in 16 games, which is pretty good, but he also has so many other hustle stats that don't get accredited. I mean, this guy, he's all around the place when he's out on the ice, winning face-offs, scoring.
Yeah, so of course, Elliot Lancaster, senior captain for the Blue Wave. But let's look at some other impact players on the forward side. We have Aiden Elders and Bryce Lydon. Of course, 2 of the top players for Darien. Aiden Elders has had goals against Fairfield Co-op and Greenwich. Bryce Lydon, of course, I think is 3rd on the team with points with 20 to his name. So he's been an overall threat to this Darien team for this game. But Will, why don't you touch on Aiden Elders a little bit?
Yeah, Elders is a guy, PJ, you said Max Lowe can really do it all out there. Elders is a guy that's great in the neutral zone. He's great in the defensive zone and even better in the offensive zone. He's, a type of guy that's a 2-way forward, and he gets it done around the net with really good hands, a great shot, and, people just respect him when he has the puck in space.
So 37 career points for Aiden Elders, but of course our Darien player to watch today, the sophomore standout for the Blue Wave, is Jack Mariska, and Will, he's definitely going to be a player to watch for Darien.
Yeah, Mariska has been hot as of late. He's really been hot all season, and, he's got that fishbowl on today, and when it gets close to playoffs, you see him rock that fishbowl. He's got his confidence up, and, he's definitely going to be a threat today for the Wave.
So Mariska, of course, the player to watch for the Blue Wave, but of course, PJ, our New Canaan player to watch is none other than senior captain of number 14, Gavin Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Gavin Fitzpatrick, he's a really good guy. We had some high expectations for him coming into this season. We saw some preseason clips, him hitting a Michigan here at the Darien Ice House. And he's really just one of those guys that every night he comes out, plays his hardest, and does a really good job scoring, sniping top corner shots.
So Fitzpatrick had a goal and an assist against Darien back in January, but let's take a look at none other than New Canaan. You cannot mention New Canaan without his name, number 23, senior captain Doster Kroll. You take a look at that graphic right there. He is senior captain, 123 career points. He was an all-around standout for this New Canaan team. He was an all-state first-team MVP last year, so he's definitely going to be someone to watch as well for New Canaan. But take a look at the coaches for both these teams. Darien head coach by Mac Budd, New Canaan by Clark Jones, both with similar records overall. Mac Budd and Clark Jones both have an FCIAC championship and a state championship to their names. So again, PJ, when you have two head coaches like Budd and Jones, really the coaching is going to really help them out in the ice.
Yeah, I mean, these are two coaches who come out every single year with programs that are always competitive. New Canaan and Darien, they've always been competitive in Division I state playoffs. New Canaan has made it to the semifinals for, I believe, the past 2, maybe 3 years. Sadly, they haven't made it to the championship, but they've gotten pretty darn close.
So of course, we cannot forget about the goalies in this one. For the Darien goalie, starting senior captain number 30, Quinn Creppen, will be anchoring the Darien net. He'll be behind the pipes for the Blue Wave today. Creppen, of course, a lot of great stats to his name for the Blue Wave, so can't touch on Darien without Quinn Creppen. 8 games played, 5-3 his record play against Notre Dame West Haven. Now let's take a look at the New Canaan goalie side. None other than number 32, Mason Pickering. He's done a great job for New Canaan at the goaltender side. 12-2. He pitched a shutout against Ridgefield the other night. But again, take a look at the series history for both of these teams. A lot of great battles between Darien and New Canaan throughout the game, but throughout the season, excuse me. So last game went to Darien. This one we'll see what it goes to. But PJ, just the last touch on you. What are some keys of the game for New Canaan?
I mean, this New Canaan team, you've got to protect your goalie, Mason Pickering. Last time out, Gardner Ely had a shot right from the slot that kicked off the scoring for the Wave, and they've just had so many other opportunities. This Rams team, they need to start fast, get on the goal, get the first goal of the game, and then also win the neutral zone. You can't have sloppy turnovers in the neutral zone that lead to Darien fast breaks.
So Will then touch at the end here. What are some keys of the game for the home team of Darien?
Yeah, just keep, Kroll, Roby, and Fitzpatrick to the outside, really force them to the corners, and then, limit those shots from the slot. Darien needs to push the traffic away from the net and really just, force those shots from the perimeter and allow Creppen to just ease his way into this one.
So starting lineups, the national anthem coming your way for live from the Darien Ice House on DAF Media and NCTV. do the rendition of the national anthem here live inside the Darien Ice House. But we're also going to hear, of course, today is a shoulder check game for Darien and New Canaan. Let's send it down the ice, hear some words. You just heard right there, of course, this game between Darien Blue Wave and New Canaan Rams, a shoulder check game honoring the HD40 legacy, what it still has today on these young athletes making kindness a contact sport. And of course, two powerhouse teams, a lot of FCIAC standings, rankings on the line. New Canaan currently sits at the #1 team in the FCIAC at 14-2. Darien sitting just underneath them in the second place spot. They're 11-4-1. That tie against Fairfield Co-op, they get a point from that tie, but still, they're just 1 point behind New Canaan, so this game is most likely going to lead to whoever's going to get that #1 seed come the FCIAC tournament in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and just to touch on it real quick, Liam, you know, a lot of these games, we were talking about it earlier, you know, usually we see Finley Hegarty out here, but, you know, this season has really been the story of just, you know, great development from Quinn Kreppen. He's become a very well-rounded goalie. You know, he used to be a little hit or miss, but now he's, you know, on the ball every night. And, you know, that save percentage, those goals allowed, it really reflects the, you know, great work that Kreppen's done this year getting the start tonight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that. I mean, Quinn Kreppen, he started that game against Notre Dame West Haven, only gave up 1 goal, starting that game against Bishop Hendricken. That was a tight battle throughout. Then he almost pitched a shutout against Fairfield Co-op. That gave up a goal within the final 2 minutes of the game. So Kreppen will get the start today, and then of course, PJ, look at the pipes over on the New Canaan side. Number 32, Mason Pickering. He's been unstoppable throughout this entire year. It's his 4th year on varsity. He pitched a shutout in the last game against Ridgefield, so Pickering is red hot for the Rams.
Yeah, Mason came into this team as a freshman. He was backing up Bo Johnson, who was an incredible goalie every single night. But now Mason, he's learned from him, he's developed, and now he's taken on that starting role, and he's ready to show out against his rival.
So puck drop getting set here from the Darien Ice House. The double number 9s will take it. Aiden Elders for the Wave and number 9 Max Lowe for the Rams. Puck drop is here. We are underway here inside the Darien Ice House. New Canaan wins first face-off, dumps that one in behind the net of Quinn Kreppen. Blue Wave will get possession. That one's going to be intercepted by Lowe, but Mariska will try to take it up, get a reset. Fast-paced game so far, well underway. Persinger, big hit there from number 23, Doster Kroll.
Yeah, back-to-back shots from Kroll early. You know, he's really making a first impression here.
So Lowe behind the net. Darien defense has been successful all year, stopping any offensive surge, and that one will be taken away, but sticking within the Darien blue line.
Yeah, that was a great job by Tony Del Carmine to just lift the stick there and get it back for the Rams.
Trying to make some nice moves over there was the freshman Jack Kroll as the Blue Wave will get this puck set over in the neutral zone. Tarrant tried to take it, but New Canaan will get that one back and reset in their own defensive zone. Blue Wave also underway. Getting one over there, number 7 for Darien as well. Charlie Schwinn, none other than Charlie Schwinn for Darien, had a Michigan goal against Stanford.
2 reverse hits from McNamara, returning the, back, getting a response from the Kroll hits earlier.
So Schwinn crosses that one over, no player in front to get a shot on. As that loose puck goes into the neutral zone, taken up by Connor McNamara. High puck there. His brother Mark McNamara sends that one down as the Blue Wave made the first line change of the day. So the Rams get set. Still pretty even strength hockey throughout. New Canaan is going to chase that one all the way down to the other side with number 16, Bryce Leiden. Blue Wave getting set. Puck over with Samame. Hit over on the near side by Braden Roby.
Yeah, watch out for number 26, Alexander Rentz today. We saw him on the Greenwich game.
Canaan out in front, shot there by Fitzpatrick, back out in front. That one was off of, looked like one of the Darien defenders, number 16 for the Blue Wave, Connor Kilroy, as he goes down to the ice. And
yeah, he got that one in the wrist. That was an absolute stinger from the point. No one in front, and Kilroy got the block shot, but I don't think he's going to return after that. That was right to the wrist.
It was a big wrist shot there by senior captain, number 14, Gavin Fitzpatrick, out in front. And, of course, this Darien defense, Connor Kilroy putting his body out in the line for that one.
Yeah, that's the part of, your equipment where you have no padding, and it got him directly there. So could be trouble for the Wave early.
So puck staying with the Rams in their offensive pursuit. They just try to keep the puck away from the Darien D. Moving that puck around number 17, Jack Thompson. Puck back out in front, trying to get a backhand on it was number 27 for the Rams, Rogan Lowe. That one will be picked up by the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and we're seeing Jack Thompson out here on his first shift back from injury. He injured his AC joint in his shoulder a couple games ago, and he's finally back out tonight. He's taking it shift by shift. Him and Coach Clark Jones said he's really, you know, if this were any other game, he probably wouldn't be out here on the ice. But since it's such a high-intensity game against a rival, you know, he had to come out and show out for his boys.
Yeah, a lot of energy on both benches. Mac Budd's bench, and of course, Clark Jones's as well for New Canaan as they get a loose puck. Darien offense, big hit over there on the New Canaan bench side. Back out in front, snipe there from Doster Kroll. That one's going to be saved by Kreppen with his right knee pad as get a little contact after the shot.
Yeah, and it looked like Maxwell almost got tabletop there. Made it look a little bit worse than it was. It was really just, you know, Tarrant hit him, and then Persinger was on the ground behind him, and Lowe kind of tripped and fell over him.
Doster Kroll, 38 points on the season to his name. He leads almost the entire state of Connecticut in points. Connecticut high school hockey, as the referees are going to talk to that Darien bench side.
Yeah, you see the pace that New Canaan's come out here early with, and it's really, you know, Darien looks to be on their heels a little bit. You see that shot by Kroll right there. It's just, you know, the transition hockey for New Canaan looks a lot faster right now.
The face-off one to the Blue Wave. Charlie Schwinn's going to send that one down all the way to the other end of the ice for an icing.
Yeah, New Canaan, their offense has been on it all, you know, 3 minutes long so far, but they've already got a couple shots, almost snuck one past Kreppen with that shot from Fitzpatrick.
And of course, the Rams are in their away black jerseys with the red lettering. Darien in their home white suits with the blue numbering. Face-off one there by the Rams. Dumping that one in over the Kroll. Kroll skating around. He's going to take that loose puck up with McNamara and Persinger over on the hits. As Schwinn gets a little bit over as the Blue Wave have a 3-on-2. Schwinn takes it over himself, dumps that one over to McNamara. Shot there. That one's going to be saved by Pickering. Back out in front, and Schwinn almost got a shot on the Pickering.
Really good adjustment from Pickering. That wraparound was wide open, and Pickering kicked out the pad there at the last second to negate an early goal from Schwinn.
Yeah, that was a great play.
The 2023 Division I second teamer Mason Pickering making some big stops already as that loose puck over in the neutral zone. Doster Kroll's going to dump that one in for a New Canaan line change. Darien defense will reset. Over with James Whitacombe. Whitacombe over the Weibel. And Persinger will get that loose puck, sending it in for another dump.
You know, we didn't think we would see this fourth line at all today, and Mac Budd already going with Kilroy, Weibel, and Thurlow. Trying to get a spark.
Big hits over on the far side. Trying to get a shot on that was the Blue Wave. That was number 22, Quinn Kilroy. And like you said, Darien fourth line. They saw some time in that game against Greenwich over the weekend, but definitely against a game like New Canaan, something you probably didn't expect to see. So Pickering will leave that puck behind. Darien on the heavy press. Aiden Elder sends it back out. Shot there. That one's going to be saved by Pickering. It's a shot there from number 24, James Troy, who had the overtime thriller winner for Darien back in January against the Rams.
Yeah, really good puck movement from the Wave right now.
Another shot there back out in front, and Pickering will stop up that puck for a stoppage. 10:22 left to go in the first period of play.
It's a really good response from the Wave. You know, New Canaan was clicking early in transition, and the Wave slows it up in the offensive zone. They're able to work a cycle out of the corner, you know, feed that high slot area, and, you know, they're buzzing right now in the offensive zone.
Yeah, and a common trend from last game kind of coming into this game is both these teams really having struggles clearing the zone. You saw in the last game a lot of those goals came because the team on attack just, you know, had too much possession time, and it's kind of translating here with the Rams having that early push, and now the Wave in the attacking zone for at least a minute now.
Yeah, possession time in the offense definitely going to the Darien side as they're just keeping the puck inside the New Canaan blue line. Niffin gets a big hit over there from Gavin Fitzpatrick as he tries to make it clear for the Rams, but he'll send that over to the neutral zone. New Canaan skating around, almost had a little breakaway there, was number 16, Bryce Leiden, but that one will be sent all the way back over in the Darien defensive zone.
Yeah, and Bryce Leiden, he's a huge player for this Rams team, committed to Michigan to play lacrosse. He's only a junior, he's a 4-star recruit, but he's just a huge impact player whenever he plays. He's huge out on the ice, lays a lot of big hits.
Yeah, Leiden will be joined fellow teammate Doster Kroll at Michigan for lacrosse in 2 years, but nevertheless, puck will be sent back over to New Canaan. They'll look for a reset, but Schwinn still playing on the heavy attack for the Blue Wave. Using the glass on that one, New Canaan. Sending that one on, speedy New Canaan trying to get a hold on that one. Shot there, that one's going to be saved up by Kreppen. The shot there from number 17, Jack Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson, his first shot back from the injury. You know, he's looking to just kind of get more warmed up in this first period, and then come to second and third. You know, that's when you'll see an increase of shots and production.
Yeah, I was going to say, PJ, that kid line for New Canaan, they use it a lot more than Darien, and, you know, you see why there. It's Jack Thompson and Rogan Lowe. You know, they've been contributing all year long.
Face-off won by New Canaan, trying to get a shot back out in front. That's going to be going off of the legs of number 22, Quinn Kilroy, as Darien will reset with Dylan Weibel over on the far boards. Weibel going to dump that one in all the way back behind Pickering for another icing. Again, like you said, I mean, you look at New Canaan's stats. They have 89 goals on the season. They've outscored opponents 89 to 20. 3 shutouts. They average about 5.5 goals per game. So the offensive production, like you said, using that kid line for the Rams has definitely worked for head coach Clark Jones' squad.
Yeah, the Rams, they've only, in every other win that they've had this season, they've only allowed at the most 1 goal. So the defense is really key for this Rams team today. Their 2 losses were the 2 games that they allowed more than 1.
Mariska will dump that puck in, and Pickering will make a stop. I think we're going to see in this game, definitely the goalies are going to want to stop that puck a little bit more, just in case you don't want any of those offenders trying to creep in, make a loose puck.
Yeah, that rebound control is going to be huge. You know, we've seen Kreppen here early. He's done a great job, you know, freezing that puck, and same with Pickering. You know, like you said, Liam, this slot is where the goals are going to be scored. A lot of garbage goals today in front.
Face-off won by the Blue Wave. Mariska got a nice shot on that one, but that will be stopped up by the New Canaan defense. 8:30 left to go in period number 1. You're watching this game on DAF Media and NCTV, a joint production. Liam Tomaszewski, Will Jennings, and PJ Neville. So glad to bring you all the action from the Darien Ice House. So that puck will be sent all the way back over into the neutral zone. New Canaan looking for an open possession. Big hit there from Troy. That puck will be going into the hands of Darien. Back out in front, another hit with Tarrant. Elders dumps that one in over in the boards, but that one will be recovered by Cameron Leiden. Sends that one over to the defense side. Darien playing a press. Kroll, short pass over there, trying to hit up number 9, Max Lowe.
Good to see Connor Kilroy back as well after the block shot.
Mariska, big hit over to McNamara, just missing the stick of Troy, who'll go to the bench. New Canaan dumps that one in. A very physical game so far between 2 powerhouses.
Yeah.
Looks like referee's going to blow the whistle, and an offsides will be called.
Yeah, Roby just got a little jumpy there. He saw he had Fitzpatrick on the half board, but the puck just crept out of the zone just a little bit.
Yeah, and the atmosphere in here tonight is definitely not the same as it was just about a month ago. I mean, these 2 student sections looking a little empty. Obviously, Valentine's Day, there's not going to be any love in between these 2 towns, but you know, the atmosphere definitely not what we anticipated for a Darien New Canaan game.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's 4 o'clock game. It was pushed up from 6:10, I think, on the Ice House schedule. But, of course, New Canaan and Darien with their respective student sections coming out to cheer on their teammates. Darien will send that one in. McNamara sends it over on the defense to Connor Kilroy, who had that hit off of his knee earlier in the period 1.
Yeah, you're seeing Darien come out a little timid here. You know, New Canaan's really finishing their hits, you know, bringing physicality here early, and Darien's kind of shying away from those hits and just trying to play the puck.
Puck picked up with Schwinn, trying to get a shot on. It's the Blue Wave. Gardner really out in front. Looked like Pickering made a nice save over on the far side.
Yeah, outstanding job by Pickering there. That was a really great tic-tac-toe by the Blue Wave, but Pickering was able to read and slide to the other side of the crease.
So Pickering will send that puck all the way. New Canaan will make a dump. Of course, today, February 14th, Valentine's Day. We give a happy Valentine's Day to our viewers at home, but Michael Niffen sending that one in. Hear the chants from the New Canaan student section. They're getting loud inside the Ice House. New Canaan dumping it in, looking for a shot is Leiden back out in front. No player there as Alex Rentz tries to make it clear along with Gardner Ely and Michael Niffen. Sends that one over to Ely. Gavin Samame now the forward for the Blue Wave, who gets a shot saved by Pickering. Samame had 2 goals in the game against Greenwich on Saturday. And neutral puck over by the New Canaan student section. Back out in front, Darien trying to poke it free. Troy will send that one over to Elders as that one goes out of play.
Yeah, and this New Canaan forecheck is doing a great job putting pressure on Darien. They've caused at least probably 2 or 3 offensive zone turnovers, at least for the Rams offensive zone, the defensive zone for the Wave, but they're doing a really great job just creating opportunities from that.
So another face-off coming up in Darien's offensive zone. Let's see what the men in blue can do. Face-off won there by New Canaan. They've controlled the face-off well throughout this game. Persinger sends that one over to Tarrant, trying to poke that one free as the Rams over in the neutral zone, but Darien holding on strong. Puck back out, Schwinn trying to poke it free. McNamara taking a full stab at it. And now puck will be loaned with Doster Kroll, sends it back out for a little soft tap there was Max Lowe, but that one will be stopped up by none other than Quinn Kreppen.
Yeah, Darien's just come out here a little bit slow, and, you know, it's really catching up to them now as, you know, they've had that time of possession in the offensive zone, but, you know, in transition, that's where New Canaan's really attacking downhill with speed. And, you know, these guys are just, they're not hanging with Kroll, they're not hanging with Lowe, and they're kind of getting blown out of the water right now in that aspect.
Lowe, definitely a dangerous player for New Canaan. Had 2 goals and assist against Stanford earlier in the year, 10 goals to his name this season. One of the senior captains on this New Canaan team, as that puck will be going all the way to the other end with Aiden Elders. Trying to regain that puck is Jack Mariska. New Canaan using the boards on that one, stopped up by Kilroy. New Canaan trying to get an open lane on. That's going to be almost a one-on-one with Kreppen as New Canaan tries to keep that puck in their own zone.
Yeah, that was the speedy Tony Del Carmine.
So puck going out with Mariska, 3-on-2 for the Wave. Centers it back out, just missing his open man. New Canaan playing heavy D. Now New Canaan will reset, back over Del Carmine, over the Lowe. Lowe on the backhand shot out in front, saved up by Troy. And he'll send that puck over to fellow sophomore Jack Mariska, who'll send that all the way for an icing.
Yeah, it's clear here early, you know, New Canaan's game plan coming into this game. They're trying to push the pace in transition. They're not trying to slow up. They're not trying to cycle the puck. They're not trying to look for options in the offensive zone. They're trying to push the pace in transition, get those fast break goals, get those odd man rushes, and you know, they've clearly done a great job here early.
And PJ, so far, New Canaan's been heavy on the offense. We've seen a lot of shots in them, especially from Lowe, so their offensive production's definitely been out in front as that's a shot there from Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, this Rams team, they're doing a great job putting pressure on Darien. As we see, they've got all three forwards on the forecheck in Darien's defensive zone, really putting some pressure. And then they've got a lot of guys hanging back on defense just to prevent any sort of breakout opportunity.
So 4 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in period number 1. You're watching this on DAF Media and NCTV, a joint production. Live here inside the Darien Ice House, Liam Tomaszewski, Will Jennings, and PJ Neville. So glad I could be here for it in the game between the number 1 and number 2 teams in the Fairfield County Athletic Conference.
You know, you mentioned the forecheck. It certainly looks like New Canaan's playing a bit of a 3-2 forecheck, and Darien's more of a 1-2-2 here early. But, you know, like you said, it's really helping New Canaan that they got these guys on the pucks in the corners. They're winning 50-50 battles, and Darien, you know, not able to exit the zone on the breakout because of it.
Another face-off won by the Rams. Sending that one over to Leiden with Kroll behind the net of Pickering. Kroll using the boards on that one, but Darien will intercept it with Tarrant. Shot there from Samame as Mason Pickering makes a signature glove save.
Yeah, Pickering just night in and night out. He's always showing out. He got a concussion a couple games ago against Woodstock in a last-minute collision, and he was out for a couple of games, but he's come back, and he shut out Ridgefield just last game, showing that he hasn't skipped a beat.
Yeah, you know, Darien, what's separating them right now is the play from the defense, holding the blue line. New Canaan hasn't done the best job of it thus far, and Darien's been able to pinch on almost every puck and hold the possession.
So face-off won there by the Blue Wave. Aiden Elders going down on the ground. No calls from the referees. Persinger will be caught up on the boards. Darien will be forced to reset it back in their own zone, as New Canaan will be called for an offsides call over at the Darien blue line. That's number 27, Rogan Lowe.
Yeah, we're seeing Chase Harden out here on the ice. You know, he's a guy who's up here in the booth just last year calling these games. Now he's down on the ice playing in them. And he's just one of those guys who will always try to make the big hit, the big play. He's this team's enforcer with the exception of Doster Kroll. But he's always willing to stand up for his teammates.
So another face-off won there by New Canaan. They'll have it in their own red line. Back up in front, Kroll making some nice moves around Charlie Schwinn. Big hit there over from Mark McNamara. That puck will be taken over by Darien. Kroll trying to get a hit on the Charlie Schwinn.
The McNamara brothers look to be shadowing Kroll as they're doing a great job of taking the body on him every time.
Big hit there from Connor McNamara, bringing number 2 Jack Kroll, Doster Kroll's brother, all the way to the ground. Schwinn sending that one back out. Shot there from Lancaster. That one's going to be stopped up by New Canaan. As they'll get a reset here. Darien defense forced to climb all the way back. Kroll with the shot. That one goes high.
Yeah, and that was inches away from putting the Rams up 1-0.
Yeah, he had Kreppen beat, high blocker there, and just barely missed, as you said, PJ. That was a really good shot.
Fitzpatrick just got taken down there. I don't like that call. No call by the refs.
No call by the referees. Making some big hits is Quinn Kilroy, who sends Fitzpatrick back down to the ice again. A lot of physicality. Slap shot there, saved by Kreppen. That was from number 22, Elliot Kropp.
Now you're seeing the D get involved. A name like Elliot Kropp, you know, that's a guy that needs to get involved in this game from the blue line.
Fitzpatrick goes down once again. Darien defense trying to get the puck out. Fitzpatrick out in front, trying to get a loose puck out. Kreppen making a nice second chance save. Heavy physicality as the net will go loose and will stop up the very surging last 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, New Canaan, you know, their problem this period, you know, has been the blue line play, keeping the puck in the zone. And you see a guy like Elliot Kropp get a shot on net there, get another shot, generate rebounds. That's where New Canaan really puts it all together. And, you know, this team is a lot more complete with guys like Elliot Kropp making those dynamic walks on the blue line.
Yeah, I mean, Kropp just recently had an assist in that shutout against Ridgefield. 5 goals on the season to his name. He plays club hockey for Connecticut Mayhem, so definitely one of those guys for New Canaan you want to watch out for, especially if on the defense making those kind of shots. Look at the face-off here, going to be won by Darien, but New Canaan's still on the heavy hits, trying to almost mirror what Darien's been doing with the hits.
Yeah, and Elliot Kropp, you talk about him. He's a guy, he was a forward on this Rams team last year, so he's a real offensive defenseman, and that's why you're seeing such an increase in offensive productivity from him this year.
So Troy will send that puck out. Mariska in the blue wave for the final minute and a half left to go in period number 1. Shot there from Mariska. That one just goes to the right, but Darien will get the own rebound there. And that puck's going to be sent all the way back with Michael Niffen, who will be forced to retreat it. Fitzpatrick on the rush for the Rams. Fitzpatrick trying to poke that puck free. He will get so. Sending that one over to the blue line, but Kroll will be forced to chase it down. Again, Jack Kroll, one of the 2 freshmen on this New Canaan Rams squad. Puck back over. Referees blow the whistle. Looks like another offsides call.
Yeah, and Gavin Fitzpatrick, he went to the ground, you know, all 3 times there. And the referees, they didn't call anything, but it looked like he got pushed in the back at least twice on those hits. And, you know, I saw him get up. He was holding his head a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. He's a huge impact player for this Rams team.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin Fitzpatrick, you look at his 3rd year on varsity, 28 career goals to his name, 68 career points, so definitely one of the most influential players on this New Canaan team so far. As Darien takes a blue line shot, that one's going to be saved up by Pickering.
Yeah, and Darien, you know, they took down Fitzpatrick, like you said. They got to clean up that breakout. They've been sloppy in the defensive zone, and, you know, it resulted in them almost getting a penalty.
So the referees will blow the whistle. Just above 30 seconds left to go in period number 1. You're watching this game on DAF Media and NCTV. Of course, live here from Darien Ice House. Liam Tomaszewski, Will Jennings, PJ Neville. Really, I could be here for this matchup between number 1 and number 2 teams in the FCIAC.
Yeah, certainly a dominant period for the Rams, as they've had most of the premier scoring chances this go around. Different than last time, where the Rams, or the Wave, got on the Rams early.
Yeah, I mean, that game back in January was a dogfight all throughout, and then, of course, James Troy put the overtime winner in there. So it's basically a matchup between 2 evenly powerhouse teams, so really anything's possible for this game.
Yeah, the roles just reversed this go-around, as New Canaan looks to have the momentum right now. But as you said, you know, these teams very evenly, very evenly matched. So it's definitely going to be a dogfight all day long.
So face-off won there by New Canaan. They're going to send that one all the way. The referees blow the whistle for another icing call. 17 seconds left to go in period number 1.
Yeah, Rams just looking to get out of this period. Tied at 0. This is, right, the defensive battle today, the 0-0 on the scoreboard. That really benefits the Rams, considering that stat that I talked about earlier. Only 1 goal let up in all wins this season. And when they let up more than 1, they lose. They've lost twice, both those only games with more than 1 let up.
Yeah, I mean, New Canaan's only lost to Notre Dame West Haven this year, and of course to Darien as well. So only 2 losses on the year to 2 of the top teams in the state of Connecticut. It's That loose puck's going to be taken up by Lowe as we head to the end of period number 1. So 0-0 your score. Will, I'll start with you. Darien did heavy on the forecheck, tried to get some shots on Mason Pickering. They did well. Of course, when you have a guy like Pickering in the pipes, it's definitely tough to try to get one past him.
Yeah, most of the shots for the Wave that period from the perimeter, I'd like to see them work the slot more, maybe get some more traffic in front of Pickering this next period. And, you know, Darien, they need to talk some things over in the locker room. They look to be on their heels a little bit. They're shying away from hits. They don't look like they're, you know, have that same pace of play that the Rams do right now.
And PJ, of course, like Will just said, New Canaan is playing almost like they're walking out there or running. I mean, they do not look like they're on skates right now, but how fast they're moving. They're playing very physical, trying to match what Darien's doing. So I think New Canaan's going to make any adjustments going into the period number 1 intermission.
You know, I would think just more physicality, right? They've got the upper hand on shots on goal. Mason Pickering has played lights out so far. He's done a great job. But the physicality, they just need to match Darien, right? You saw Gavin Fitzpatrick go to the ground 3 times and absolutely no retaliation by his teammates. So, you know, if I'm Coach Clark Jones, I want to see guys like Chase Hart and Dr. Kroll step up and defend their teammate.
So 15 minutes gone, 30 left to go here from the Darien Ice House. We'll be right back after the first intermission.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police dropped a gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. Regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
And back here live on DAF Media and NCTV. Of course, Darien Blue Wave will be taking on the New Canaan Rams so far. 0-0, your score here live from the Darien Ice House. Liam Tomaszewski, PJ Neville, and Will Jennings. So to recap that first period of play, PJ, New Canaan played very strong on the physicality side, had some nice shots against Quinn Krepp, and almost had a nice opportunity there from Doster Kroll with a couple snipes, but overall his offensive game very on top of it so far.
Yeah, this Rams team, they've been doing a great job just putting a lot of pressure on Darien, right? They've had that forecheck going all game long, creating some defensive zone turnovers for the Wave and getting some opportunities from it.
And of course, Will, you look at the Darien side, their defense been the stars of the show today. And of course, they've had some nice shots against Mason Pickering so far, but couldn't seem to put one past him in that first period.
Yeah, Darien, you know, they're lucky it's 0-0 right now. You know, you mentioned Doster Kroll got a couple of really good shots on goal, and, you know, this New Canaan team, they look to be on the attack early, and they were really giving it to Darien early with that really aggressive forecheck and really pressing Darien in their own zone.
Of course, want to take a look at, of course, Catherine Calderwood, our Darien Athletic Foundation photographer, took some really nice photos of the Darien team this season. So want to give a shout out to her, of course, for supporting DAF Media and all Darien Athletic Foundation initiatives right there, and of doing a really great job with all sports photography as well this season. But nevertheless, we have our second period of play coming up here from the Darien Ice House. 0-0 your score. Offense primarily on the New Canaan side, but Darien's had some nice rushes against Pickering. Both these teams will switch their respective sides on the ice.
Yeah, one guy I'm looking out for this Rams team this period is Bryce Lyden. He's been hustling all up and down the ice today, and he's one of those guys that can, you know, flip a switch and just get going any given period.
And for Darien, you know, you got to look for Jack Mariska to give them a bit of a spark, you know, down on the momentum side early. He's the guy that can make those big, flashy plays down the ice.
Mariska, our player to watch for today for the Blue Wave, has had some nice goes at it at Pickering, but haven't seen one or two shots from him as Aiden Elders will get the puck on. He'll miss that one as he'll be checked up by Jack Kroll. Back out in front, Persinger over with Doster Kroll on the boards. Loose puck, that one's in the air. New Canaan will recover that one with number 15, Cameron Lyden. Back over to Jack Kroll. Big hit there from Elders over by the Darien student section. Blue Wave back out in front. Schwinn shot. Darien trying to get a backhand on it as Pickering will go out of the pipes in a loose net.
What a shift from Aiden Elders. You see he gets the reverse or the hip check on Jack Kroll on the boards. He gets the turnover, causes the turnover, wheels back to the middle and gives a one-timer right to Charlie Schwinn's stick, followed up with a couple rebounds. That's what you need from Darien to get them back in this game. And only 0-0, but that's a strong start to the period.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at that replay. Elders had the nice hit over on the far boards. He moved that puck in, made a nice shift, and then Darien got another backhand on it, but of course Pickering going out of his way in the butterfly to make that nice stop. So New Canaan will win the face-off. Doster Kroll sends that one over to Bryce Lyden. Out in front there, New Canaan using the board to their advantage. Shot there from Hardin. That one will be sent all the way back to the other side. Darien will try to rebound it, but another big hit there from Lyden.
Yeah, Bryce Lyden, he's definitely the most physical player on this Rams team, with the exception of probably Doster Kroll and Chase Hardin.
Puck back out in front. Mark McNamara trying to get a shot on it. Darien just keeping it alive in their own zone. Sent over by Kilroy. Good save there on the loose puck out in front, Schwind. And puck will now go to number 14, Gavin Fitzpatrick. Oh, it looks like Fitzpatrick got caught up over on by Lyden. He'll get hit, and it looks like Lyden stopped up when the referees blew the whistle. Fitzpatrick still going in that forward motion.
Well, I think Lyden was actually trying to, you know, prevent the offsides and stay past the blue line.
Yeah, he was trying to stall the zone there for a rush. They had a 3-on-2, and unfortunately they just miscommunicated there.
So face-off won there by Darien. Gardner Ely going down to the ground as New Canaan will reset with number 4, Owen Briggs. Back over, slap shot. Just missing the net of Pickering was John Wadley's slap shot. Loose puck behind the net of Pickering. Briggs sends that one over to Lyden. Or excuse me, number 17, Jack Thompson.
Yeah, New Canaan's got Pinkernell out here. You don't see him come out a lot, so Darien needs to take advantage of that. Maybe take the puck wide and try and manipulate that weak point for New Canaan.
Yeah, Chase Pinkernell, though, right? You talk about him. He's a guy who's really kind of burst onto the scene in the second half of the season. He really, you know, he's a guy that's just come out every game and he's worked like a dog. And he's really made an impact for this Rams team during his senior season.
In Pinkernelli's his first year on varsity. He's played 14 games this year. He had his first career varsity goal last game against Ridgefield. So definitely one of those added guys to head coach Clark Jones' squad as New Canaan tries to get a little look out in front. Tarrant trying to make a stop for the Blue Wave. There's a loose puck over by the New Canaan student section. Big hit there out in front. New Canaan trying to get an opportunity. Shot there, just missing the net of Kreppen. Out back out in front. New Canaan trying to get a shot out with Lowe. The referees blow the whistle, stop up that play.
Yeah, Kreppen didn't even see that loose rebound coming. It got flipped to the other side, and a great save in the butterfly going post to post there. As you know, we saw that earlier from Pickering down there, and Kreppen sticks out the pad for the save.
You hear the music inside the Darien Ice House. 12:39 left to go in period number 2. Still 0-0 your score here. Both these teams very neutral on their respective offensive positions. Face-off one, they're out in front by New Canaan. Trying to get a shot on Fitzpatrick, and he puts the first one in for New Canaan. Gavin Fitzmagic, as they call him, puts the first one up for the Rams.
Yeah, that was a great job just to win the face-off by the Rams, then get a cross-crease pass to Fitzpatrick, and he's burying that all day long.
Yeah, you can't give New Canaan that many looks that close to the net. You know, there's been rebounds all throughout the first period, and you're seeing a similar style of aggressive play this period from New Canaan, going up 1-0.
So Fitzpatrick had a goal against Darien back in January. Gavin Fitzmagic, his nickname on that team, puts it away, the first goal of the night for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and just going back to that matchup last year that the Rams won, Fitzpatrick also had a nice takeaway in the neutral zone and then put one past, I believe that was Hegarty in that last one. But he just turns it up against Darien to another level.
Yeah, a guy like Fitzmagic, you can't, you got to tie him up in front of the net. You can't let him get his hands free. He's got too good of a shot, and that's just a free goal there for Fitzpatrick.
So first goal of the day coming from senior captain Gavin Fitzpatrick as New Canaan will try to reset. Kropp will send that one over to Kroll. Momentum heavily on the New Canaan Rams side. Puck over now to Max Lowe.
Yeah, Chase Harden's got a bit of a hot head right now as he just gut punched Aiden Elders there on the ground.
Well,
Ref
I
just
think
batted
Harden's
an eye.
stick was stuck under Elders, and he was trying to get it out.
The ref just didn't even look at that.
Here's
but
the shot there from Mariska. That one goes off the pads of Mason Pickering, and you hear the cheers over from the Darien student section trying to get a loose puck as Mariska in a big late hit. And we might get some physical action here over by the Darien student section, taking out Mariska. The bad blood between the Rams and the Wave is alive.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Harden's ejected from this game early. That's his second fight in about a minute, and he just suplexed Jack Mariska on the ground, absolutely tabletopped him there and took him down by the head. So we'll see some extracurriculars as the helmet of Mariska came off under Harden. Harden had a headlock around Mariska there.
Yeah, Harden did not like that. He's the guy, he stands on business, and he did not like that there. Mariska, gave Pickering a little too much after the whistle, and Harden wasn't taking it. He came back. You saw him immediately. I could tell as soon as Mariska kind of even went after that puck after Pickering gloved it, Harden was coming straight from the other side to give him a word.
I mean, right there just defines the New Canaan and Darien rivalry in about 10 seconds right there. Harden laying out his body right there. Mariska going in continuation. Looks like the referees are going to be talking about it.
Yeah, we saw, Chase Harden gut punch Aiden Elders, and then right there he takes who is it, Jack Mariska down and gives him a couple punches as well. I mean, I understand protecting your goalie, but to some point, you got to really crack down on that activity in front of the net.
You see Schwind and Pickering getting a little pass going.
So, we'll take another look at that replay from the Gavin Fitzpatrick goal. He was right out in front, made a nice shot past the lengths of Quinn Kreppen out there and puts the first goal in the game for New Canaan as the referees still talk things over with the respective coaches and other officials out in front. Not sure what the call is going to be on this one, but
we saw Chase Harden and Charlie Schwing get into a fight, last time these teams met, and fortunately enough, it was 2 matching penalties. No majors were assessed, and Chase Harden was able to play the rest of that game, but we'll see here as the refs are meeting. Charlie Schwinn and Harden They had a fight last time. Both players were able to play the remainder of the game, and this time a little bit different as Harden, Mariska didn't really have his footing. Harden kind of just took down Mariska and gave him a couple uppercuts.
So it looked like Mariska and Harden will both be in their respective penalty boxes. So it looks like we'll get a 4-on-4 coming up from inside the Darien Ice House. That's something you don't see every day in high school hockey.
Yeah, another 2 matching penalties for roughing in front. I'm not sure what the, discourse was there from the refs, but interesting decision.
So it looks like they're just both going to waive off the penalty, so it's still a 5-on-5. Mariska and Harden will be in there, Mariska and Harden will be in the penalty boxes, but neither team will have power play. Another big hit from Leiden over with John Wadley. These teams again getting physical. Back out in front, Lancaster out in front, saved there from Pickering off of his stick. McNamara on the hit. That puck's going to be going all the way. Niffin's going to try to chase it down. Fitzpatrick goes down on the ground, and we have a delayed penalty coming up.
That's leg to leg right there. Wadley was trying to catch the chest of Fitzpatrick, and he stuck out the leg and got knee to knee, so that's a tripping 2-minute minor penalty.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick, he had a breakaway there too, and that was almost a kind of saving play. Fitzpatrick, if he's one-on-one with Kreppen, he could be burying that. There's probably, I'd give it 50-50, maybe even a little greater in Fitzpatrick's odds.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, with his hands free, as we mentioned earlier, he can bury those shots around the net. He's got one of the best shots in the FCIAC.
So New Canaan will be up on the 5-on-4 for 1 minute and 50 seconds as Darien will be going to the penalty box. So definitely New Canaan's done well on the power play all year, especially with that first line out there for the Rams. Loose stick out in front. Darien with a little contact over in the neutral zone. Samame just trying to hold the Rams from any offensive surge.
You'd like to see Darien stay out of the box. I know this is a rivalry game, but they've already got 2 guys in the box right now, and it's not foreshadowing good things to come.
Back out in front, New Canaan. Taking it nice and slow over the low at the point. Back out over to Owen Briggs. Or excuse me, that one's Braden Roby. So New Canaan staying with the puck, alive in their power play. Kroll now with it, Solo up on top. He'll send that one over the neutral zone, and Darien will make a line change on that power play.
Yeah, similar setup to Darien's. They run that umbrella up top, and it looks like Roby kind of controls it.
Shot there from Fitzpatrick. That one goes off the Darien D. Didn't make it near Quinn Kreppen on that one. Big wrist shot there from Fitzpatrick. Lancaster shot there, saved by Pickering. Almost a shorthanded goal for the senior captain.
Yeah, and that's something that you don't want to see, an attack on Pickering while on the power play. Something that this Rams team, they just don't want.
Puck back out over to Fitzpatrick out in front. Trying to get a shot on it was Doster Kroll, but Darien still with the heavy press.
So now they sub Kropf on, and Kropf's going to be the quarterback of this power play as they look to use him at the top.
So Kropf trying to send it over to Fitzpatrick. That one goes off his stick, so Darien trying to get some breathing room with Charlie Schwind. He's going to take it all the way himself with the heavy New Canaan D. 4-on-1 on that play. Big hit there from Kropf on the Aiden Elders. Schwind trying to get a loose puck. That one's going to be sent all the way back down to the other end.
Even strength now.
Go back to even strength, 5-on-5 after New Canaan power play. Darien, nice job on the penalty kill. Puck back out in front for the Rams. Trying to hold it off, looking for Jack Kroll, but instead number 22, Elliot Kropf, will send that one in. Another big hit over behind the net of Kreppen as the referees blow that whistle to stop up the play.
Yeah, Darien's just, they need to get their feet moving here. They had those 2 early penalties that kind of slowed them down, but they narrowly escaped that power play. They need to get some, plays in transition and maybe set up an offense because they're kind of out of the game right now with the early penalties.
Yeah, one thing to note here, Mariska and Harden both out of the box, so they'll be back, eligible to play for hopefully the remainder of this game, bearing any penalties.
So puck back out with New Canaan at the top of the peak. Trying to get it back out there is Rams, but Darien will try to get set. Haven't seen too many shots on Pickering throughout the second period of play. Loose puck out there for the Wave. Gardner Ely making some nice moves back over the Weibel on the left wing. Backhand saved by Pickering as he'll stop up that play.
Yeah, that was a great job by Pickering just to read what Darien is doing right. You saw the pass inside, trying to hit Gardner Ely, but Pickering, he was able to just seal that post, and even if Ely did get a tip on it, it wasn't going to matter because Pickering was right there.
Yeah, I mean, Gardner Ely, he's on that third line today, has 1 goal on the season.
Yeah, you know, Pickering, he really does play those angles pretty well. As, you know, you mentioned, Weibel had a look to the inside, and Pickering, you know, played the post tight. He was tight to the post and made a really good save.
So puck's going to be sent all the way back out to the other end. McNamara over the senior captain, Elliott Lancaster. But that one's going to be picked up by number 33, Chase Harden. Puck now out with Lowe. Niffen playing heavy D as Lowe tries to center it up. Shot there. That one's going to be saved by Quinn Kreppen as he falls to the ice after that shot.
And that was a great opportunity by the Rams. Tony Del Carmine had a one-timer there. And if he got it to that other side of Kreppen, he probably would have gotten it past him. But Kreppen did a great job sliding from one side of the post to the other to make the save.
Darien, good to see Mariska out there. Got to get him back out there. And, you know, he's the guy that we mentioned at the start of the period. If there's going to be any plays here in this period, you know, on the fast break, it's going to be Mariska.
You talk about Quinn Kreppen again for the Blue Wave. It's rare to see Darien having 2 goalies with the calibers of Finley Hegarty as well as Quinn Kreppen, so definitely adds to their advantage being able to have a very trusty backup goalie on the bench, as that one will be sent over. Buchanan trying to get it over in the neutral zone. Kroll backhands it over to Lowe. Over on the right wing side, trying to circle around Kreppen once again with Kroll. Big hit over there from George Persinger, who goes to the ground. Kroll trying to get for the loose puck, but that one picked up by the Blue Wave.
Yeah, he was trying to sell the hook there as their sticks got tangled up. He was trying to sell that hook penalty.
Puck now with Russell Tarrant, making some moves around. Darien trying to get a shot on it with Aiden Elders, and Mason Pickering will make another key stop.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Chase Pinkernell there. He's another guy that does what Chase Harden does well, which is, you know, separate the stick from the puck, the man from, you know, the puck, and just create some, you know, loose puck opportunities for the Rams to collapse on, or just prevent opportunities headed at Mason Pickering.
So face-off one there by the men in blue. McNamara back over to the top of the point. That one's going to be a shot there from Connor Kilroy just high of the net of Pickering. Gavin Fitzpatrick taking it all the way off the boards. Now over to Leiden at the top, but Darien will regain possession of the puck. Back over to the top with Fitzpatrick. And now with Connor McNamara for the Blue Wave, who gets a little choked up over at the top behind the net of Kreppen. Again, puck back over with New Canaan. 6:50 left to go in period number 2. You're watching this game on DAF Media and NCTV. Liam Tomaszewski, Will Jennings, PJ Neville. So glad to be here live inside the Darien Ice House. As that's a shot there over at the New Canaan side. That one's going to go off and out of play.
Yeah, New Canaan just has a firm grasp around this game right now. And, you know, Darien really needs, you know, a desperation attempt, you know, late in this period to get this game to 1-1, as, you know, they've had minimal shots on Pickering, not a lot of plays in transition, and really for Darien, they just need to set up an offense at this point.
I mean, the depth that New Canaan has with guys with Kroll, Fitzpatrick, and Lowe, who lead the teams in their respective statistics, just really shows what depth they bring, especially with guys like Del Carmine as well. A lot of names for New Canaan's team throughout their lineup, as that one's going to be sent over with Charlie Schwind over at the Darien blue line, trying to make a nice move is Schwind. That one back out. Darien trying to get a poke at it was John Wadley, who will keep it alive for Darien. Back out in front. Schwind trying to send that over to fellow senior captain Elliott Lancaster, but that one will be batted out.
Yeah, and that was a great stick by Pickering there, just to get in the way and prevent any form of opportunity right in front.
The Lancaster looking for a puck, loose stick out in front. Pickering going out of his crease, and we'll give that over to Jack Kroll.
Yeah, good to see Darien get back to their fundamentals, get that, you know, give and go with Lancaster and Schwind, get that cycle going behind the net. That's what they need to do to get back in this game. They need to set up that cycle and, you know, work that puck out in front.
So Kroll over with James Troy. Elders back out in front, but Leiden doing a nice job, and Thompson trying to clear it. As that referees will blow the whistle out in front over at the center ice line.
Yeah, you saw Cam Lyden playing without his stick there. But he's been described, right, when I talk to his teammates, when I talk to coaches, they always call Cam a high IQ player. He's a guy, right, who always knows what the right decision is and how to get to it. And right there, he was playing without the stick, but he knew instead of trying to chase the stick like how some players would, he knew to just stay back and protect his crease.
Puck all the way at the far side. Persinger, he's going to be trailed down over by the Rams on the far side. So New Canaan will get a reset over with Max Lowe. Lowe's going to take that all the way. Persinger trying to go on the ground to try to block any puck movement from Lowe. That one rebounded by Doster Kroll. Shot there from Kroll, and Kroll puts in the snipe. Going over to the student section to celebrate as the Rams lead 2-0.
Yeah, that was just an outstanding opportunity by Doster Kroll. I mean, he's a guy, right? He's got the fastest shot probably in the state, in my opinion. But he's a guy, right? You saw him. He's high IQ. He elevated above the goal line. Right, some guys, they might just take a worser opportunity from down low, but Doster, he knew to elevate, get a better angle, and that shot just went top shelf.
Yeah, almost like a question mark dodge in lacrosse. You see him elevate above that goal line, like you said, and kind of give the goalie a fadeaway that, you know, Quinn Kreppen really wasn't expecting.
That's Doster Kroll's 22nd goal on the year. His 36th point leads the team in points, practically the state of Connecticut as a whole. Of course, Doster Kroll, one of the members of the 100-point club in the state of Connecticut, scored his 100th point in that game against Prout earlier in January as Darien tries to get a shot on there with Connor Kilroy, who sends it up into the net.
Yeah, Connor Kilroy, you know, one of the best defensemen on this Darien team, very mobile defenseman, offensive defenseman, and, you know, you see the speed and, you know, skill he comes with there. You know, young player, but a lot of promise for him in these coming years.
So New Canaan has a nice cushion of 2-0 against the Blue Wave, but New Canaan's still going to go with the heavy press set. Schwinn now with the puck, lone control behind the net. Kreppen's going to take it himself. Back out in front, Darien trying to make a nice transition as Kilroy goes down to the ice. Schwinn fight for it with Elders and Mark McNamara as New Canaan gets a set with Gavin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with puck control, broken up there by Connor McNamara.
You know, and that Kroll goal that we just saw, it really just comes from the physicality that New Canaan's been bringing this entire game. You know, Darien not able to escape the zone on the Doster Kroll goal, and it's still not able to escape the zone here.
So it looks like some more physicality over on the far side. And not sure who that is over there, but
I think that's Lancaster. I think that's Elliot Lancaster and maybe Braden Roby or Cam Lyden. I saw a 5 on the jersey, couldn't quite tell, but Lancaster kind of tied him up along the boards. If I were to guess, I would say it's Roby. You know, he's one of those guys. We saw him get in a fight earlier in the season. Not quite sure who or what team it was against, but Roby, he definitely, you know, he's a hot-headed guy. He likes to get in contact, and Lancaster, right, he just, you know, he held Roby against the boards. Roby was trying to break free and just couldn't get free, and then Lancaster kind of gave him a shove too many.
So Roby, it looked like it was Braden Roby and Elliot Lancaster having some words, and well, a lot of physicality in this game, Will. I mean, something you don't normally see from both of these teams.
You know, to really put a button on it, PJ, that's really been the problem for, you know, Lancaster all year. He's, you know, had a short temper. He's had a hot temper this year, and, you know, he's retaliated a lot, which has really put Darien down a man for quite a few games. And, you know, Lancaster there not able to control his emotions, and, you know, he gets another retaliation penalty, a common theme for Liam and I doing these games this year.
Yeah, Lancaster definitely one of those guys, makes a lot of penalties, but I mean, we take a look at that replay right there, the hit right there looked like Lancaster and Roby, a big check over on the far side of the ice, and that's what caused some of that physicality to play out, but Darien New Canaan just trying to figure out what to do with the referees over at center ice, but we're going to step aside, take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And back here live on the DAF Media Network and NCTV. So looks like after the Lancaster and Roby little brawl, it looks like it'll be 4-minute penalties on each matching side. So 4-on-4 for the next 4 minutes of ice hockey.
Yeah, two they just took it off. They said, and they announced it throughout
They called it a matching penalty, so basically it's just going to play 5-on-5 and goes on the score sheet as just a 5-minute major for fighting.
Well, never mind on that. Aiden Elders now getting out shot, and Elders puts it in for the Blue Wave. Here comes the momentum for the men in blue.
Yeah, we saw Elders make a similar play in the first period. You know, he got the hit on Jack Kroll, spun back to the net, and that time it's just Elders, rush up the ice, skating through the entire team, unassisted goal there, and that's just what he's been doing all year long, finishing in tight with really good hands, and he elevates it over the shoulder of Pickering on that one.
The 11th year goal for Aiden Elders, one of the impact players on this Darien team that we analyzed this game, and Aiden Elders cuts New Canaan's lead in half to now just by 1.
Yeah, that finishing ability from Elders, that's what separates him as a player. It's those quick hands in front, as well as that, really good chip shot he has.
Yeah, and that was also just an all-out defensive breakdown by the Rams. You don't typically see a lot of fast break opportunities against this team, but just coming out off of the penalty, both teams are a little, shaken up almost, and the face-off, it was just all out, miscommunication, and the Rams definitely work on that, trying to get into the break, only allowing 1.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, PJ, both of these teams, especially New Canaan's defense, is definitely going to have to really bear down after that goal from Elders, because that adds a lot of momentum to that Darien bench being considered down 2 goals earlier, now only down by 1. So that faceoff will be won by New Canaan. Shot there from Fitzpatrick, but that one will be saved by Crepin. Puck back out over with Darien. Russell Tarrant, 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in period number 2.
Ryan Thurlow up there with Schwind and Mark McNamara.
So New Canaan will have to do a little reset as going to send that puck over into the stands is Cameron Lydon, but again, PJ, so Darien had at least, I think, 9 or 10 shots on goal, then one went finally through Mason Pickering, so definitely adds a little bit of more, I would say, momentum to the Darien side, but New Canaan's definitely, their defense is going to have to really bear down now.
Yeah, New Canaan, this team, they're used to being in this spot, high pressure, high intensity games. Every single time out, they always find a way, find a way, find a way. That's been the story of this season for this team. Mason Pickering, he's done a great job being the backbone of this team, and that was an unsavable opportunity by Darien. Pickering, don't beat yourself up on that one, but he's still going to come out and show you what he's made of.
So face-off 1 there by Darien. They're going to keep the puck in their offensive zone. Hit there over on the far side with Tarrant, but sticking with it is the speedy Alex Rentz. Rentz back out in front. New Canaan looking for a little hole. Darien trying to break it up over on their defense. Kroll back out in front. New Canaan trying to get a shot on it. Big save there by Quinn Crepin, the save of the day for the Blue Wave.
And Tony Del Carmine completely undressed his last defender, and that was just a great save by Quinn Crepin, going post to post, laying out the full butterfly, almost the scorpion save, that we see from many goalies in the NHL, lifting that pad, tilting it high and catching that puck from Del Carmine, because he had, Crepin and, that last defenseman beat, and Crepin just comes up with a dramatic save.
Yeah, standing up here, I thought that one went in. I heard the pounding on the boards, and I looked to the benches, and it's Darien. I almost got confused. I thought Del Carmine easily
back out in front, trying to get a little breakaway while it was Elders, but New Canaan does a good job on the defense. Puck now over with Jack Kroll. Again, like you said, with Quinn Crepin making the acrobatic save against Tony Del Carmine's shot. When you look at that replay, he just wrapped around all the way, almost had barely a hole to go, but Crepin stopped every bit of that shot. Now puck back out in front, New Canaan. Looking to try to rebound after that Del Carmine shot. Final 2 minutes left to go in period number 2.
Yeah, and that save by Crepin definitely, gives Darien even more momentum heading into, these final minutes of the second period.
Puck now with Schwind. He'll go down in the ground as Darien tries to look for a reset. Number 2, Jack Kroll for the Rams, looking to try to give that one over. Kroll now out in front. Schwind with a little contact at the end as the referees blow that whistle.
And the Rams, you know, on that Elders breakaway, the Rams definitely got lucky there. I mean, if he got another one, you know, it was going to be all Darien heading into the second period break.
Yeah, that puck, you know, like you mentioned, that most recent breakaway, that puck was on edge. Elders wasn't able to get, you know, complete control over it, and, you know, luckily enough, it slid to the corner.
So Kropp will send that puck over to Bryce Leiden on the far side. Buchanan looking for an offensive spark for the final 90 seconds. Back out there, Leiden going down. Buchanan looking with it with Gavin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back at it with Lowe behind the net.
The refs really letting both teams play today. Not a lot of penalties, called as, you know, they're finishing on every hit.
Niffen getting a hit over with Lowe, but that puck going to be recovered by Fitzpatrick. Final 60 seconds left to go in period number 2. Darien with one last maybe set at it. They're going to send that one over on the boards. Another little physical contact over there for the Wave.
Bryce Leiden with a huge hit there.
Ryan Thurlow in that Darien fourth line out there. For the final couple seconds, 30 seconds left to go as that puck will be stopped up by Pickering. It looks like maybe another big hit there over on the Schwind and Harden, but no call will be given for 34 seconds.
Yeah, you know, similar antics to last game when these teams met. Harden and Schwind having a little bit of a conversation on the boards there, and, you know, those guys do not like each other, I'll tell you that much.
Schwind just came off the ice, and now he's walking around the ring. Not 100% sure what that's.
Back out in front near Pickering. That one's Aiden Elders tried to get a shot on it. Trying to look for it again is Elders. Darien trying to get maybe a last lick at it along with New Canaan. Puck back over in neutral zone. Blue Wave fighting for it with Troy. Sends that one back over. New Canaan with the possession with Leiden. Back over to Jack Kroll. Kroll using the glass. That one's going to be sent back for an icing. Back behind the net of Quinn Creppen.
Still not sure where Schwind went. Went kind of out the doors and to the left.
To the lobby area. Yeah. I saw that as well. He just left the rink, just went to the lobby, and we're not sure where he is. He could be in the blue line shop. Maybe there's an issue with his skates. He might need the stone. Maybe he lost an edge on one of his blades, but
most likely that's the deal. His final seconds tick off here. Jack Kroll's just going to let that one go. So another 15 minutes down in this perennial matchup. Will, I'll start with you. So Darien got one goal on it with none other than number 9, Aiden Elders. So adds momentum to the Darien bench, but again, still 15 minutes of hockey left to go.
Yeah, that was, you know, as PJ mentioned, that was a defensive breakdown. You know, they gave too much respect to Elders, and Elders took that space and used it well. But for Darien, you know, it's just adding to those opportunities. They need to get more odd man rushes. They need to start moving the puck in transition. We haven't seen it enough from Darien. They need to get those 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 opportunities going north-south.
And PJ, I'll go with you now. New Canaan had some nice shots against Creppen, but again, Darien cut New Canaan's lead in half by 1. So what do you think they're going to be talking about in the intermission huddle?
I think Coach Clark Jones, right, he's one of those guys, he doesn't want them to lose their cool. I'm sure that fighting, you know, although he does respect it, he doesn't want to see it. And this team, right, they're in control of the game. They can't let it get away by letting their tempers flare up. They've just got to keep consistent play, right? You know, just keep on keeping on, get some shots up against Creppen, defend Mason Pickering. That's all you got to do.
So 2-1 in favor of the visiting New Canaan Rams. We'll step aside and take a quick break. We'll be right back for the third period of play coming right up.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Back here live on DAF Media Network and NCTV. So the Rams lead the Blue Wave 2-1. PJ, I'll start with you coming out of that second intermission. Head coach Clark Jones definitely talking about his guys about the physicality throughout this game, but New Canaan's still up by one, so they're going to have to really bear down on defense, try to hold that lead that they currently have.
Yeah, this is a defensive unit that came out just about a month ago and let up 4 to this Darien team. Now through only 2 periods, but they're only letting up 1. Last time around it was 3 after the second. So really, you know, this is a team who has shown a lot of improvement, right? You got guys like Chase Hart and Chase Pinkernell who have stepped it up in this latter half of this season to, you know, bear down on defense.
And Will Darien, they put one up on the board with junior number 9, Aiden Elders. So far this Darien team, they added a lot of momentum, especially with the physicality throughout that second period of play. So for the Blue Wave, the offense definitely going to have to go if they want to tie this Rams team.
Yeah, you need to see more of those flashy plays in transition. You need to see more, you know, movement from that north to south offensive unit. You need to see more 2-on-1s, more 3-on-2s, and a lot more, you know, passes in front in order to score on Pickering. You know, move them side to side.
So face-off 1 there. We are underway in the third period of play. 15 minutes of hockey left to go. Freshly Zamboni'd ice. Both teams switching their respective sides. Puck will stay with New Canaan as they try to reset. Puck now with New Canaan over on the far side. They're in their defensive zone. Jack Kroll now with the puck as Darien makes first line change of the period. Puck now with the Rams once again trying to center that one back out was number 19 for the Rams, Tony Del Carmine, but that one will be stopped up by the Blue Wave. Puck back out with Darien Schwind, who's back in the game. Put that one using the boards as New Canaan gets a little interception at the blue line. Sending that one all the way back out to the New Canaan defensive zone. Lancaster calling off that puck dump, and New Canaan will once again reset over near their bench. Darien's second line out there with Samame and number 12, Mark McNamara. Persinger will send that one all the way to the other end, and no icing will be called. And New Canaan will get another jump start at it. Fitzpatrick trying to send that one over to McNamara, talking to his fellow defender Connor Kilroy, looking for an open lane. Chase Harden will try to bear that one all the way back down behind the net of Pickering.
Yeah, and there's been just a lot of neutral zone play coming on here, Liam, to start this third period. We talked about in the pregame, New Canaan, they need to win this neutral zone play, get some good offensive opportunities, and limit the ones on the defensive end.
Yeah, and a lot of ices here too. You know, both teams a little bit disorganized on the breakout here. You know, you'd like to see these guys connect those passes on the breakout and, you know, get moving north to south like I mentioned.
So face-off one there by Darien, but New Canaan will quickly regain possession of that puck. Kilroy trying to look for it. Giving it over to Gavin Samame on the far side, who dumps that one and almost gets a shot on the Pickering. Big hit over on the far side with Weibel. New Canaan will dump that one in all the way to the far side. That puck goes out of bounds, 13-11 left to go in this third period of play. Darien down by 1, only need 1 goal to tie this game back at 2.
Yeah, they're playing, you know, this far offensive zone this period. They got to keep that puck in with the defensemen. They got to start using the defensemen as well if they're going to set up an offense. They need guys like Connor Kilroy getting shots on net.
So puck back out in front. Like PJ said earlier, New Canaan has really only held opponents to 1 goal throughout the majority of their games, so Darien needs to put another one on to try to ice this New Canaan team. McNamara sends that one all the way back to Jack Kroll, and Pickering will go out of the crease to give that one over back to Kroll. Niffen will stop that puck over by the New Canaan bench. We'll dump that one in all the way back. Darien D will chase that one down over behind the net of Quinn Creppin. So they'll start from scratch with Michael Niffen. Backhands that one over on the Darien blue line, just missing Troy. That one all the way back to Rogan Lowe.
Yeah, and this kid line for New Canaan, they've come out tonight and they've done a great job getting a lot of shots on cage. You've got Jack Thompson returning from an injury, and he has shown, right, what he's made of, at least 4 or 5 shots that have had good opportunities to get past Creppin.
So puck back out over on the Darien side. Mariska tips that one up. Off the stick of number 12, Mark McNamara, fighting for that one. McNamara going over with Max Lowe. Another big hit over on the Darien side. Mariska trying to hustle that puck all the way down to Pickering. Little hit over on the far side over near the net. As Darien will get a line change in their offensive zone. Puck sent all the way back down to the other side. Ely sending that one over to Schwinn. Two New Canaan players collide over at the center ice line. Back over with Lancaster as the referees blow the whistle, call off that offensive pursuit.
Yeah, nice move by Schwinn there, center ice, to split the defense and get inside for a rush. Unfortunately, I believe there was a offsides called, but you need to see Schwinn get his touches. We haven't seen him get his touches this game, and he's very effective with the puck in space. You just need him. You got to get your skill players involved. You got to get them the puck in space, and that's what Darien's been lacking this game. They got to get Schwinn, they got to get Elders and Mariska involved.
Yeah, the Darien first line primarily quiet. I mean, they only have one goal on the day, of course, with number 9, Aiden Elders, but nothing really Darien has been really clicking for them on the offense. They've been getting some nice shots on Pickering, but none that have been high quality enough to get past the star goaltender. So puck back over with Tarrant, fighting for that one. New Canaan's going to skate that one all the way back with Elliott Kropp. Samame looking for an open hole for the Blue Wave, so Pickering will just bounce that one off of his knee pads. He sends that one all the way down to the Blue Wave side with number 6, Ryan Thurlow. New Canaan skating forward, Thurlow over on near the New Canaan blue line. Defense back out there for the Wave. McNamara over to Tarrant. Trying to hit up George Persinger. Persinger on a shot. That one's just going to miss the net of Mason Pickering. Once again behind it now in front, McNamara. Shot there from Persinger. That one's back out in front, but makes a big quality save for the Rams.
Yeah, good look there from Mark McNamara cycling around the net. He gets it to Persinger, and there was 2 screens in front of the net. And, really good save by Pickering, squaring up that shot as, he was seeing through at least 2 lanes of traffic on that one.
Yeah, Mason Pickering, right? He's a guy who's always comfortable in the butterfly, and he was able to locate the puck there, make the save, and keep the Rams alive.
Puck back out in front with the Rams, looking for an offensive drive. New Canaan moving fast. Big hit there from Connor Kilroy, stopping up New Canaan's surging offense. Leiden fighting forward over with number 5, Braden Roby. Puck back over with Lancaster. Lancaster trying to get a little open shot on it. Diving for that one is Jack Kroll. Lancaster going down to the ice. McNamara with the shot. Stopped up in front of the net of Pickering. As New Canaan will make a big clear and will reset Darien.
Yeah, and that was a great hustle play by Jack Kroll. Right, he's one of these guys on New Canaan who has come in this year and made a huge impact for the team. He's a guy who just day in and day out, night in and night out, he'll make a play for his boys and protect Mason Pickering.
So a puck out over with Michael Niffen out in front, trying to stop New Canaan any offense. Fitzpatrick out there for the Rams, but that puck's going to be over with Jack Mariska. Mariska moving around, big hit over on the far side with Doster Kroll. That one going near and dear, but referees will blow that whistle and call that one off.
Yeah, James Troy had that far side high look. It was wide open. Pickering did a good job taking that angle away, but, Troy with his hands free, he had that top right corner and just barely missed. The Wave, we said going into this period, they need to move the puck in transition. They've done that, thus far, and they're getting some good looks right now.
Yeah, James Troy had a good look there. I mean, look at that replay, had the high right, wide right corner open for himself, but just missing the net of Pickering.
Yeah, and you can almost hear the sigh of relief from
puck back out in front, backhand. That one goes in for the Rams. Number 12, Bauer Gamble.
Yeah, that's that kid line right back on the ice. You see Jack Thompson feed it over to Bauer Gamble, and he's able to get that short side low, tight to the post opportunity. He slips it right past Kreppen.
Yeah, Bauer Gamble, right? He's a legacy on this team. All of his brothers came through the New Canaan program. Coach Clark Jones, he's familiar with the Gamble family. And Bauer Gamble, he's done a great job, right? We had high hopes for him coming into this season. His first year on varsity, his first year in the New Canaan program. And this guy, he scored the Rams' only goal in a preseason scrimmage against Del Barton. And, he's a guy who just night in and night out we always see a lot of good production from him.
Quickly again, Doster Kroll takes a slap shot, and referee's blowing that whistle to stop up the play. But Bauer Gamble, his 6th goal on the season, his first year on varsity. He had a goal and 2 assists against Notre Dame Catholic 2 games ago. So he'll add another goal to his stat sheet as we get a face-off coming up in Darien's defensive zone.
Yeah, that kid line was definitely due for a goal there.
Back out in front with Schwind. Darien trying to reel it back in, out in front. Changing over that one, Mark McNamara trying to square up and get a shot, but that one will just miss. The Blue Wave now down by 2, a big mountain to climb, especially against a Rams team that's been surging. Back out in front, fighting for it, Kroll. Trying to get a loose open puck there. He'll send that one all the way. Fighting for that one is Tarrant. So the Blue Wave will be forced again to reset from behind the net of Kreppen. Puck back out in front. Fitzpatrick intercepted it. He's going to take it all the way. Back out in front. Looking for an open man there of number 5, Roby, but just missing his stick. Fitzpatrick back out in front. Shot there, saved by Kreppen. There's a shot there from Elliot Kropp. And the Blue Wave trying to make it clear, getting the puck out of New Canaan sticks. McNamara with it. Connor McNamara, big hit over there. Back out in front, looking for a shot to get past Kreppen was Gavin Fitzpatrick, but couldn't get the backhand on it.
Yeah, and great dive there by McNamara just to, get Fitzpatrick off his line.
So back out in front now with Elders. Trying to get a shot on. It's the Blue Wave out in front, and the Darien will put it in. And they'll cut New Canaan's lead just down to 1 with number 24, James Troy.
James Troy able to, stop that New Canaan surge and get a look up the ice and transition. They're finally able to score in transition, and that's a great tic-tac-toe play right there. You see New Canaan was surging. They were firing on all cylinders. Darien answers with a 3-on-1 tic-tac-toe backdoor cut from James Troy, and he puts the Wave just down 1 goal.
So Darien staying with this one. James Troy, of course, had the overtime thriller goal back in January. He adds another one against this Rams team this season. So Darien back in this game with 7:45 left to go.
Really good play from James Troy without the puck there, moving without the puck, finding a soft spot, and just creating a little magic backdoor for the backhand top shelf.
The puck now over with Darien, feeling a little bit more energy and maybe a little bit more of a comfortable spot after that James Troy goal, as Wadley will dump that one in on the defense. Big hit there over on the near side. Still fight for that one is Wadley. Puck now out in front with Gardner-Ely. Samame's going to take it himself. Out in front now of the net of Pickering, who's going to stop that one up himself. A little more physicality out in front of the net of Mason Pickering.
Yeah, and the refs were really quick just to shut that one down, right? No more extracurriculars as we've seen throughout the course of this game. But these two teams, right, there's bad blood. No love lost here today. Both these teams on Valentine's Day, they're not going to be showing any sympathy. No hearts given out on the ice.
Yeah, the heart with the arrow is definitely a theme for this game. Darien and New Canaan only separated by 4 miles, but divided by more than a century of rivalry. That one will be back out in front. Darien winning a big face-off shot there from Lancaster, and that one goes in. The equalizer from number 19, Elliot Lancaster.
What a response from Elliot Lancaster. That's what he does best. His shot, getting his hands free, and just ripping one from the top of the circles. You saw him in penalty trouble early, and that's a great response from the senior captain, getting his team back in this game 3-3. You saw he got that puck in open space, looked for option center, and decided to lace one to the top corner.
The duty of the senior captain, one of our players to watch for the Blue Wave, Elliot Lancaster, was due for a goal. Had a lot of great shots against that game in Fairfield and Greenwich, but puts one to his name against the rival of the Rams. Back out in front, Troy. Darien team surging as they equalize this game at 3.
You can't leave Lancaster up there, hands free. You got to get a stick on that because, we saw against Xavier when he has his hands free, he's got a cannon of a shot, and that's him getting back for his mistakes early. Really good play, really good leadership from Elliot Lancaster.
Yeah, and this Rams team, they looked really comfortable after that Bauer Gamble goal, but now you could see you can never get comfortable against a good team like Darien, especially in a rivalry game. They'll always find a way to respond and fire back. And New Canaan now, you're seeing how they've got to hustle if they want to pull this one out.
So 3-3 your score. Goal there from Elliot Lancaster, the senior captain. 6:33 left to go in this game. Rams will take it themselves, moving along that puck in the neutral zone. Persinger fighting for it along with Jack Mariska. They send that one. New Canaan keeping it alive in their own zone. Back out in front, Darien using the blue line. Back out with Braden Roby dumping that one in. So tall Connor McNamara will send that one over the boards. Mariska as well, but he was just behind the Darien blue line, so Darien will be able to make a line change. Back out in front, Schwind trying to look for an open puck. Darien definitely the heavy offensive possession time in their favor as Lancaster makes a big hit. Out in front, Kreppen going out of the crease to make a big save from Gavin Fitzpatrick.
Really good judgment decision there from Kreppen.
Darien back out in front, Schwind just missing a shot there. Lancaster getting his rebound. And both teams fighting for it over in the neutral zone. Buchanan moving along quickly. Connor Kilroy looking on the defense. Kropp with the shot, saved by Kreppen, a loose puck, but the referees already blew the whistle, so that one is a dead puck.
Yeah, and that was a great opportunity on the breakout by Elliot Croft. You could see his background as a forward coming into play there, getting an opportunity, wasn't able to convert, but he knew where he wanted to put his shot. You know, he just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, and you know, you saw on that breakaway opportunity, Kreppen, like I said, very good judgment call there from Kreppen to, get out of his crease and poke check that one, because, if you let, I believe, Gavin Fitzpatrick get that puck, he's probably burying that.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was right there, so Kreppen made the judgment call of going out of the crease. Soaring shot there, going off the stick of Kreppen. 5:15 left to go in period number 3. Buchanan back out in front, shot there. That one's going off the stick of Russell Tarrant. A lot of physicality out back at it. Mariska taking it himself. Another big hit there from Harden out in front. No call there from the referees.
Yeah, questionable no call there as, Mariska did show the numbers, got hit up high, so.
Mariska once again looking for an open lane. Buchanan will just dump it in. Of course, you're watching this game on DAF Media and NCTV. Liam Tomaszewski, Will Jennings, and PJ Neville. So glad you could be here. Live inside the Darien Ice House. We have a tied hockey game here at 3 apiece as both these teams just look the edge the other. Back out in front, McNamara. Soaring shot there, saved by the New Canaan D. Didn't look like it made it to Mason Pickering.
Yeah, that big body of Mark McNamara really clogging up the slot, holding that puck in the zone, and just generating a ton of offense for these skill guys like Lancaster and Schwind.
Back out in front, Lancaster. Trying to get that over to McNamara, but New Canaan will just dump that in, and an icing will be called. A big stoppage for both of these surging teams.
And the Wave, they've really responded this period. The first 2 periods of play, not their best hockey. This period, completely different. They're working together in transition, and once you get that transition hockey going, you're able to slow up in the zone and create more offense.
Again, PJ, New Canaan gave up 2 goals within just a matter of 4 minutes, so on the offense, they're going to have to really make a big adjustment.
Yeah, and this is a team, right? Their offense, that's been the story of the season for them. They always find a way. This New Canaan offensive unit, right? You got the new lines. They've played so well together. And the defense, right? This is some unfamiliar territory, only allowing more than 1 goal. This is now the 3rd time. But New Canaan, they haven't been able to win those past 2. But if they are able to come out here, that's a good sign for things moving forward.
Neither of these players can get blindsided by the other. You never know when anything's going to hit. New Canaan will dump that one in over to McNamara. Still tied at 3, back behind the net of Kroll. Kroll fighting for a big hit with George Persinger. And that one will be sent back for another stoppage.
Yeah, you see Doster Kroll just on the forecheck. That's one of the best parts of his game. Very solid kid, very, solid player, and he's just able to get those hits off against smaller guys, and that's what he's been doing all game. He forces those turnovers on the forecheck. He gets his body involved and, creates for the Rams.
Kroll is one of those spark plugs for this New Canaan team. Back out in front, that shot's off the post. You heard that from up here in the broadcast booth. Back out in front, puck loose. New Canaan trying to get a little open lane at it, but Darien defense still holding on strong.
Yeah, and that was quite literally centimeters off from being a Rams
Puck back
lead.
out in front. Big save there by Ryan Thurlow. The Darien fourth line out there is going to send that puck for a line change.
Yeah, like you said, PJ, literally an inch off from the Rams dagger down here late.
But both these teams just have to keep him at bay for another couple minutes. Kreppen out in front. He's going to go out himself. Strategy out in front. Kreppen's going to lay down. Another big save there from Kreppen going out of the crease.
Yeah, and that just forced Roby off his line. Roby had a near opportunity, but Kreppen just getting in the way, making himself big, making himself a threat.
That was actually Connor Kilroy who had the stop. Kreppen was beat by Roby, and Kilroy came back diving like an NHL 23. He hit both bumpers on the controller and dove out in the crease and completely saved that one. A goalie save from Connor Kilroy.
Yeah, well said there. The Xbox PlayStation players can appreciate that. But again, 2:12 left to go in this third period of play. And like you said, Kreppen, he's made that adjustment. He's moving out of the crease, trying to make the stops because he knows that the shots from the guys out in front of him, he might not be able to see. I mean, the hard shots from Fitzpatrick and Lowe, Roby. So made it out there and tried to break up the congestion out in front of the net. Face-off won by the Blue Wave. Tarrant looking for an open lane back out in front. Send over by Michael Niffen. Niffen over to Troy. Gives that one a look. But that one will go behind the net. New Canaan will reset with Jack Kroll. Kroll back over with Niffen. Puck now with Jack Mariska just a little bit loose off of his hands. Minute 40 left to go in regulation. A little bit of a slower pace of play. Darien just trying to keep the puck in their own zone away from any more New Canaan offense as they get a little bit puck back out in front. Kreppen's just going to hold that one himself.
That's a bad missed call right there. You do not hit the goalie when he's got that puck frozen, and that was intentional too.
So that's going to be called on number 12, Bauer Gamble. Referees already blew the whistle. Kreppen was still, and Gamble just tries to loosen that one up. But
looks like he got off without a penalty, but that should have been unsportsmanlike conduct for hitting the goalie after the frozen puck there.
Yeah, so never mind. So Bauer Gamble tried to loosen the puck, but again, referees are just letting them play on 5-on-5 even strength. Puck now with Elliot Kropp, but back over with number 20, Connor McNamara. Sending that one over to Schwind. Intercepted by Kropp, who will reset over at New Canaan's own blue line.
Yeah, not a smart play, but New Canaan able to get bailed out of that situation as, you know, you see there's still 5-on-5. Just a minute left for both teams to just hold this one until OT.
Yeah, but I mean, last minute of regulation, right? This is where legends are made. You know, if you net this one in the waning moments, you know, it's practically game over.
Well said right there. A minute and 13 seconds left to go between now and the end of regulation. Both of these benches just have to hold their breaths. Persinger's going to send that one all the way back. New Canaan will reset. Chase Harden out there for the Rams.
Again, just 1 8-minute OT if we do go to OT. No, and
no announcers,
there could be a
Jinx.
tie. There could be a tie as well after that 1 OT period.
So final minute of play left to go. Both these teams just need one last spark as New Canaan's going to be on the hurry up. Back out in front with Doster Kroll, the best man to do it. A shot there just goes high at the net of Kreppen. Darien, the best they can do is make it clear with Schwind. Schwind takes it up himself, looking for Persinger. Sends that one Pickering using his stick to poke it out. Back out in front, Lancaster tried to get something on, but that one will just be missed. New Canaan Rams on the last surge. Sending the back one over, big hit there from Lowe. No call there from the referees, letting them play on. Kilroy behind the net of Kreppen. Schwinn will retake possession. Intercepted there by the Rams over at their own blue line. 5 seconds left to go, and looks like both these teams are just going to let it go to overtime. So it's the end of regulation, and ironically, both the game in January and the game now have ended in regulation at tied at 3. So just a little tidbit right there, but again, Darien, they scored great goals in that third and second period of play, so now tied at 3. What do you think their strategy is going to be for OT?
just keep up that pace in transition, match the Rams' intensity and match their speed with guys like Mariska, Schwind, you know, Elders. Get their skill guys out there in OT, really let them get to open space and, you know, make winning plays. That's what Darien did this third period. They made winning plays in space. They took advantage of their odd man rushes, and that's what they have to do in overtime. Keep up that transition hockey.
Yeah, I mean, Darien has been to overtime before, of course, against New Canaan earlier in January, but more recently against Fairfield Co-op over at Sacred Heart. That one ended in a tie. New Canaan's only been to overtime once this season, back again against Darien. So, PJ, any different strategies that New Canaan's going to be altering during OT?
You know, I think this Rams team, right, you've just got to stay wide and then kind of collapse in once you get close to the net. Definitely capitalize on some rebounds, right? Crepin, he's had a lot of loose pucks out in front, and he's gotten lucky. There have been also, I mean, probably two or three potential breakaways for the Rams where Crepin had to run out probably, you know, halfway through the middle of the his defensive zone and, you know, make a play on it. You can't have that happen in OT, or else the Rams, they'll find a way to capitalize.
So again, the rules of overtime, 8 minutes on the clock. One goal will be added in. So whoever scores first, of course, in overtime gets the win for the team at the end of the 8-minute overtime. It'll most likely be a tie in Connecticut High School rules. Of course, it's only the regular season, so it really doesn't matter, of course, who wins this game. But, of course, Darien and New Canaan, these benches want to win. They want to take home that cloud against the opposing side.
Plus, also, this is huge for FCIAC standings.
Yeah, this is a huge game between both of these teams. We'll see if there's any rules about it, if they do have to play it out for a win.
Yeah, this is for first in the FCIAC, as PJ mentioned. Huge for the FCIAC playoffs.
And potentially in the state, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, New Canaan sitting atop those Division I standings. Darien just right behind them with Ridgefield. Back out in front. Elders with the shot. Really loose over at the crease. Pickering just getting lucky on that one. Again, back out with Troy out in front, trying to take it loose, and that one will be stopped up out in front of the net of Pickering.
Aiden Elders had that 5-hole. Looked like he buried it on the one-on-one with Pickering, and, you know, that puck just, you know, spilled out to the right a little bit, right by that right post, and, you know, New Canaan collapsed, like PJ mentioned. They did a good job of collapsing, covering that wraparound, and let Pickering, you know, freeze that puck.
Yeah, Rams get a second chance there. That was, you know, they definitely needed a new lease on life here.
Back out in front, moving over is Leiden. Out in front, one-on-one with Crepin, and Leiden puts in the winner for the New Canaan Rams.
Leiden, what a play on the breakaway. You see he causes that turnover in the neutral zone. He causes another transition play, and he's able to go forehand, backhand, and wins it for the Rams on a great, you know, poke check into a one-on-one opportunity.
Bryce Leiden, I mean, talk about a guy, who better to do it? He's probably the most physical player on this Rams team, and he's a great scorer. He could turn it up at any point. You saw it there on the fast break. I mean, I've never seen him move that fast. You could tell he wanted it.
So Bryce Leiden puts in the game winner, his 11th goal on the season, his 21st point. Third year on varsity, a machine for this New Canaan offense in the future of this team as well. One of our players to watch, and right there puts that one away in the books. And for right there, New Canaan can go home and celebrate a huge victory, taking and clinching practically that #1 seed in the FCIAC. So adding another 2 points to their lead. So they'll end practically with 16 points. So after defeating Darien. So Will, we'll start with you. Definitely a tough loss for the Blue Wave. Again, they beat them earlier in January 4-3. Now New Canaan bounced back. They beat them 4-3. Both of those games in overtime. So looking at the sights, Darien shouldn't be discouraged yet because both these teams are sure to meet up once again.
Yeah, you know, overtime, it's a very fast period. You know, just 8 minutes of play. You're going to see a lot of transition opportunities, and both teams are going to have their chances. It's an overtime hockey period. It's not 3-on-3, it's 5-on-5, but, you know, no team is going to slow up in overtime and create offense. They're going to look to just get those one-on-ones, get those two-on-ones, and that's what New Canaan did. They were able to capitalize on theirs. Unfortunately, Elders was just inches away from netting his.
Yeah, Elders was right there, but of course, New Canaan Rams will take victory against the Blue Wave. So, again, PJ, we talked about New Canaan's going to be taking on Fairfield Co-op, their last home game of the year. So, again, a lot of momentum from this one against a rival team of Darien. So, how do you think they're going to fare out in that one?
You know, I mean, Fairfield Co-op, that's a team that Darien did tie with, but they were missing a lot of guys. New Canaan went up to Martiri Family Arena just, I believe, just about a month ago. and they absolutely, beat them. I think it was 7-1 that
8
score.
to 1.
8-1, yeah. So New Canaan, this is a team, they fared well against them, and I'm sure really their sights are set on FCIAC and, hopefully playing Darien in the finals.
This almost looked like an FCIAC championship game right here, but of course Notre Dame, West Haven, New Canaan, and Darien, top 3 of the teams in the state of Connecticut. But that will do it here from the Darien Ice House. I want to give a quick shout out to our DAF Media and NCTV crew, bringing you out all the sights and sounds in this one. Eric Bellingham, Thomas Ponte, Dalton Moss, Leon Shen, everyone doing a great job. NCTV as well. Of course, PJ Neville, Will Jennings, great to have you on the call today. I've been Liam Tomaszewski watching this game. DAF Media and NCTV, happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and have a good night.